In this video, we will look at writing equations when we're given two ordered pairs. And when we're given that, notice the subscript x of 1. I'll just start over with that. I've got x and y, and that'll be x of 1 and y sub 1 and x of 2 and y sub 2. So we have two ordered pairs. So we're actually going to use the slope formula, m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x of 1. Once we find that slope, we're going to choose one of the two ordered pairs, just one of them. So then we will substitute in to y equals mx plus b and solve for the intercept. So let's look at part A. I need to find the slope. So I'm going to look at y2 minus y1. And I'm going to divide by x2 minus x1. And so my slope will be negative 2/3. And now I'm going to use that slope, but I just need to pick one of these two ordered pairs. So I'm going to choose this one. So I have a point and I have a slope. So this is one method that we can use to find the equation, is to substitute into y equals mx plus b. Basically, I don't know the intercept. I know the slope. I know the slope, I just don't know the intercept. So, and I chose a y value, or an ordered pair. So 4 is going to go in the place of y. Negative 2/3 will go in the place of m. And 2 will go in the place of x. And I'm solving for the intercept. So 4 is equal to negative 4/3 plus b. And since I have a fraction there, I'm going to go ahead and multiply everything by 3. So that'll be 12 equals negative 12/3, or negative 4 plus 3b. So I'm going to add 4. And that'll give me 16 equals 3b, and divide by 3. And the intercept will be 16/3. So I've got my intercept, I've got my slope, so I'm going to write my equation. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 16/3. Now, what we're going to do with this equation is we're going to check, and I'm checking for the points 2, 4, and 5, 2. So where am I going to put this equation? I'm going to go into the calculator. So I'm going to go to y equal, and I'm going to type in negative 2/3 x plus, notice that that was 16/3 as my y-intercept based on what we had and what we found. So negative 2/3 x plus 16/3. And I'm looking for the point 2, 4, and 5, 2. So when we go to our calculator and we type in the equation we have, we're going to go to second graph, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the value 2, 4, which there it is, and we're looking for 5, 2. So since we see those in the table, that just means that this equation is correct. Great way to check using your calculator. All right, so let's go for another one, and let's look at part B. So my slope will equal, I'm going to start with 7. So 7 take away negative 3. So here's where you got to be careful with your signs. 7 take away negative 3. And then I'm going to come back over here and say negative 1 take away 4. So my slope would be 7 take away negative 3, which would be 7 plus 3. And negative 1 take away 4 would be negative 5. So I get 10 divided by negative 5, or the slope to equal negative 2. And now you get to pick. Do I want to choose this ordered pair, or do I want to choose this ordered pair? So I'm going to choose this one. So 4, -3 with a slope of -2, and I'm going to substitute into this equation. So y is -3, the slope is -2, the x value is 4, and I'm looking for the intercept. So -3 is equal to -8 plus b. So if I add 8, I get 5 is equal to the intercept, and I know the slope. So you come over here and you write your equation as y equal -2x plus 5. And remember, we're looking for 4, -3. So it's what I was given, 4, -3 and -1, 7. So I'm going to go to the calculator and type in y equal -2x plus 5. Clear this out and type in -2x plus 5. And I'm going to go to second graph. And I think I typed that in incorrectly. So I need an addition sign. And go to second graph. And I was looking for the ordered pair 4, -3, and -1, 7. So here's 4, -3 right here. And there's -1, 7. All that tells me is that this equation is correct. Let's look at part C. I need to find the slope. So I'm going to say 1, take away -5. And then I'm going to come back here and say -4, take away -1. So 1 take away -5 would be 1 plus 5. And -4 take away, that was -4, take away -1, so it'd be -4 plus 1. So the slope would be 6 divided by -3, or the slope would be -2 again. And so I've got the two ordered pairs, and let's see, I'll just choose this one here. So -1, -5 with my slope of -2. So y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to substitute in. So -5 is my y, -2 is my slope, -1 is my x, and I'm looking for the intercept. So -5 equals negative times negative is a positive 2. So I'm going to subtract 2. And so I get -7 is equal to b. So there's my intercept, there's my slope. Come back over here to write my equation, which will be -2x plus a -7, or y equals -2x minus 7. So you just go back and type it into your, go to your calculator, y equal -2x minus 7. -2x minus 7. And remember, what I'm looking for is the two -1, -5, and -4, 1. -1, -5. And -4, 1 are the two ordered pairs that I use to find my slope and then to find my intercept. Part C, I need to find, or part D, I need to find my slope. So I'm going to choose 6, take away 1, and I'm going to choose 5, take away 3. So slope would be 5 5 minus 3 is 2, so my slope would be 5 halves. And then I need to pick an ordered pair. So I'm going to choose the 5, 6. So I'm going to choose the ordered pair 5, 6 with the slope of 5 halves. And I'm going to substitute into my equation. So 6 goes in the place of y. 5 halves goes in the place of the slope. 5 goes in the place of x. And I'm looking for my intercept. So 6 is equal to 25 halves plus b. So I have a fraction, and so I'm going to go ahead and just multiply everything by 2. So that'll give me 12 equals 25 plus 2b. So I'm going to subtract 25. So that'll give me negative 13 is equal to 2b. And I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I'll get a fractional y-intercept again, and negative 13 halves, or negative 6.5 is where we should see the line cross the y-axis. So y is equal to 5 halves x minus 13 halves should be the equation. And we're going to look for the ordered pair 3, 1 and 5, 6. So 5 halves x minus 13 halves. So 5 divided by 2, x minus 13 halves. And I was looking for 3, 1 and 5, 6. We were looking for 3, 1, and 5, 6, and we found it on this equation. Just means that that equation that we wrote is correct. Now, E and F are different because if you'll notice on all the examples we worked, the X's were not the same, the Y's were not the same. X's were not the same, Y's were not the same. But then you get to part E and you see the X's are not the same, but the Y's are the same. So what happens when we see these Y values repeat? So the slope would be this 5, take away this 5, and you can already see what's going to happen. 6 minus a negative 2. So my slope is 0 divided by, it doesn't matter, it would be 8, but the slope is 0, which tells you, gives you an idea that if the slope is 0, I'm going to have some sort of horizontal axis. Well, where is it going to hit? It's going to hit up here at y equal 5. So if we know that, then we can actually go ahead and say that our equation would be y equal 5. And then part F, we noticed that the x values repeat. So if we were finding our slope and we said, well, what's negative 10? Subtract negative 1, and x, or 8, subtract 8. And you start to see what would happen here. I would get negative 10 plus 1, or negative 9, divided by 0. And that's going to give us an undefined value for slope. And so that's not going to give us a horizontal line. That's actually going to give us a vertical line. And where will that cross? It will cross at 8. If you think about the ordered pairs that are on this line, 8, negative 1 would be 8, negative 1, and 8, negative 10. So it'd be on that line, and this is your equation, x equal 8. Notice we use the 8 from here. And notice on the previous slide, we used y equal 5 from the y values. So these 6 examples all dealt with writing an equation in slope-intercept form. When you're given 2 ordered pairs, you needed to use the slope to help you find that. And then once we found the slope, we chose one of the 2 ordered pairs, and we substituted it in to y equals mx plus b, and we solved for our intercept.